What's up? What's up? It's your girl, Nick Valentine.
And it's your girl, the Lioness.
And welcome to the Ginger and Honey podcast, where it's real sisters doing real talk, real stories, real life. And we thank you for joining us today for episode number 6. And we're so excited to have my good friend who has become my sister here with us today, Miss Zoe. Zoe is a multi-entrepreneur, multifaceted woman. She is a young mom. She has 2 children, and she navigated her way through being a businesswoman, working for herself, working in the dental industry, and now she is a full-time consultant boss doing her own thing. So welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Show.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.
Look, she your sister and friend, but she my twin.
She is.
Literally.
Yes.
She my twin.
2 lioness.
723.
Yeah.
Born on the same day,
Yeah.
which is so we'll start with that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, Zoe and I met here in Atlanta through a dental office. I was bringing my children to, so from there we met, we connected just in making appointments and having chats while the kids were getting their teeth cleaned.
Yeah.
And realized we had things in common. She has roots in New York, Connecticut. She's also multiracial ethnicity, so we're going to get into that as well.
Yeah.
So she has a vast background and cultural background, and we just connected. So we became friends first, and just over the years, like 20 plus years, you know, I now call her my sister.
Yes. And mine too.
Yes. So
I came along later.
You came along later, but just ironically, in the first time we hung out, and I went to drop her off, and we sat in the car and
God.
literally talked for hours.
I think it was like 3 hours.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah, we had went to a basketball game. We went to the Hawks game, and then we were outside for like 3 hours. It was like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, we were like, oh my God.
And I'm like, no, you gotta drive home. We just talked and you know, I'm just a very extremely private person that I've learned through therapy that, you know, I'm almost afraid to share things with people, not because anyone has ever told anything that I shared, but just in my culture, the Jamaican culture, like whatever happens at home, you don't share it. And I've learned that was instilled in me so young. So it's like I just never share things. And so that night I was just so transparent and shared so much about myself. And I've never done that with anybody. Yeah. So it was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was comfortable.
Cool.
You know,
Cool. Like, I felt comfortable. I wasn't worried. I wasn't. It was just like, she cool as shit. Like, I'm sure we met in passing years before, like when we started talking about places that we all hung out, and you know, we was on the skate key, and she was doing, I was like, Puerto Rican parade. I was like, and I'm like, we had to cross paths at some point. And so from that day, and that was literally 22 years ago, and I only remember because I moved here 22 years ago. And I met her almost instantly.
You were,
So our children were young, and so.
And it was just an instant connection.
Literally.
And I was like, you feel so familiar. Like, it did not feel like a new person I met. And as we were sitting there, I was like, you kind of remind me of my sister. You know, and she's like, really? And I was like, what's your sign? She's like, Leo. I said, when's your birthday? She said, July 23rd. I said, hell no. I said, that is her birthday.
Oh, wow. That was like, what? I gotta
crazy.
be her.
What's the odds? And then T, the Lioness, moved to Atlanta.
I met you before you moved, though.
Yeah. When I used to come
to
visit.
That's right.
Yeah, we'd all
used to
go
come
hang
down.
out. And then once we met, it was like, oh, yeah, that's twinning now.
Yeah.
Right. Like, this is it.
Instant connections, and now they become friends. They become sisters too.
Yeah,
so.
but now 20 years.
Yeah.
Easily. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So she's close to my heart, and I'm so proud of her and her journey. So we just want to talk a little bit about your journey. That's why we wanted to have you on, because as you know, this podcast is rooted in sisterhood and showing love to people that we love,
Absolutely.
and to promote what they're doing, to show our energy as sisters and how women, specifically Black women, could support one another. And that's the energy we're trying to put out there.
I love it.
So you instantly came to mind.
Yes.
Love it.
So let's first start with taking it back to your days in Hartford, Connecticut. And
so
like me, you were a teen mom.
Yes, teen mother. So I was born in England. Came to the United States. Left England very young. We went to Jamaica. Both my parents are from Jamaica. Left Jamaica, came to Brooklyn, lived in Brooklyn. Then my mom decided she wanted to go back to Europe to model. She was a model, so I went to Connecticut to live with my grandmother. And I was like, living with your grandmother is different because it's like, I always longed for the mother-daughter, the parents, the two parents in the home. But my grandmother was just the matriarch of the family. She was an amazing woman, and she had me involved in so many things. And I always said that I wanted to be the one that break the generational curse of teen pregnancy. My grandmother was a teen parent. My mother was a teen parent. Her sisters were teen parents. And then me, and I'm like, it's not going to be me. And it was me. I got pregnant with my son, had him in high school. So ghetto, baby shower in high school and everything. It was just, science class.
What was your experience?
It was a little ghetto. A little ghetto having a baby shower in high school and science class, but so they had a baby shower for me at school. I had one outside of school, but I was already mature beyond my years. I hear that all the time. But that's because my grandmother raised me. Little old lady raised me. So
old soul.
Yeah. So I hear people talk about teen pregnancies. For some, it's really hard, or it was difficult, or I just don't think I had that experience. It was just normal. My grandmother decided she was retiring and moving back to Jamaica, so I had a couple options. I'm going back to Jamaica, and at that age, I was just like, I don't want to live in Jamaica. Or I could have went down to Miami with my dad. Didn't want to do that. So I was like back and forth from New York, and then I was just like, okay. So I was living on my own, number one. Going to school every day, never skipped a day, never missed a day, and had him. And it was cool. It wasn't easy, but it wasn't difficult, like the stories that I hear. And my grandmother was gone. My mother was in Europe. My dad's in Miami. So it's me. I have a lot of family there, a lot of family in Connecticut, a lot of family in New York.
So you had that support, still had support.
Kind of, sort of. Not really, really. They were there, but they weren't involved in raising him with me. It was me. But I didn't miss a beat. I was at every party. I partied from Wednesday to Sunday. My cousin and my baby cousin, my cousin Chanel, rest in peace, and her baby sister, I used to drop my son at their house, and I'm going. I paid my little cousin $20 a day. I'm going for the whole weekend. I'm in New York. I'm partying. Then I come back on Sunday, or even if I'm in Connecticut, I'm partying. So I didn't really miss out on anything, really.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah, it was just I was still outside, So it was cool. I will say that, people always say, if you had it to do over again, would I do it differently? No, I wouldn't. I didn't want my children to become teen parents, and I worked really hard to ensure that they were the ones to break the generational curse, because I feel like it is a curse, and they did. So my daughter's 28, my son is 32. I have 5 grandchildren. But my son wasn't a teen parent. My daughter wasn't a teen parent. So that felt really, really good.
Yeah.
Like it's something that I prayed like on my hands and knees. Yeah. And I'm a praying woman. I pray every morning, every night. But it's only certain times I get on my hands and knees. Like I could count those times. It's like a bigger prayer. Like God, I'm serious this time. I'm on my knees. It's
on my face.
It's different. So with that one, that was near and dear to me. Like no pregnancy. So with that, I made sure that my children and I were very close. That we talked about a lot. That they had open communication. I started talking to my daughter about sex early, like. If you're going to have sex, let me know. And she's like, yeah, right. You're going to whoop me. I'm like, I promise I won't. She's like, yeah, all right. And I was like, no, for real. Like, I want you to know that the reality is you're going to have sex. And more than likely, once you have it the first time, you're going to want to keep having it. So don't have it, because when you start having it, you're not going to stop.
You're not going to stop.
So if you start, I want to know so that we can put precautions in place. You know what I'm saying? And that's it.
And I admire that. And I know like we would have conversations, and I always admire the approach you would take, because, we grew up with the do what I say.
Not what I...
And and you just tell them what not to do, and trying to put fear in them and all those things. And it's like, no, the reality is, and it's like we did it. They will likely do it too, but give them the information. Give them the information,
make your own decisions. I got a phone call one day that one of her friends was giving oral on the school bus, and I was just like, the school had to call and tell everybody, and I was just like, they didn't relay who the child was, but then of course she told me, and I'm just like, you'll never ever, like if you choose that you want to do that. She's like, you wouldn't be mad if I did that? Yeah, but if that's what you want to do, don't do it on the school bus, please. Like, can you be at the house with the door closed? That's not something you do in public. You don't ever have to do in public. Be clear, you can never do it here. But don't ever, my other girlfriend, she called, her daughter was doing it under the bleachers at school. It's just like, oh my God. So I tried to stay on top of her and her friends, and one of her friends, mom, Anaya, her mom and dad, they from Jersey, and she was like, I came home and told me you was talking to them. She's so extra. You was talking about sex and stuff, and I like that. And I'm like, for real? She's like, yeah, because they fucking. And I'm like, okay. Well, Zay's not yet.
He's like, she's gonna keep it all the way funky.
She was like, so you telling them about head and all that? I like that. And I was like,
give it to him straight.
I could pretend that it's not gonna happen, but I was a teenager, and my friends were teenagers. And although I was the last one out of my little clique to lose my virginity, like I still got pregnant. And they did. So it's like,
that was me too.
Like,
man, they were shocked.
Because y'all outside. Hickeys all over. And I'm like, you got a hickey? Did it hurt? I was so scared. And, and then I'm the one that get pregnant.
Right.
So it's just like, I know what happens. So I just try really hard. And now that she's 28 and she talks to me about stuff like that, and she's just like, I didn't understand then, but we understand now, and we really appreciated that. And at 28, none of her clique from school, none of them were teen moms. So that was just great. I just loved it. They went to college.
Helps too, the friends.
Oh, yes. And she has some fast friends. Little girl spent the night at the house one night. I didn't get a call from a parent.
Oh,
I'm like,
girl, that's a whole nother subject.
She waking up early. She got to go. And I'm like, wait a minute. She spent the night? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, her mother let her spend... Y'all 16. I didn't get a call. So, I was just real big on a lot of things, just from things that I dealt with. Right. And I think that made me stronger. And so I was just very big on, her not spending the night out, and she couldn't do sleepovers, and she just, and now she thanks me, but then she hated me. I was the worst mother ever. Everybody's spending the night. Why can't I? You can go. I'm going to pick you up at midnight. You're not staying. you know. And
for
so
their protection.
Yeah.
I just
and then you always very maternal, you know.
Yes.
And we've talked about that. Like some people have it, some people don't. You know, we assume every woman just has it in them, but they're not.
And I don't, you know, I hear that a lot, and I get that compliment from a lot of people, but I don't know if it was just God put it in me or if I forced myself to. So I still don't know if it's just a gift that I have or if it's something that I forced myself to, because my mother was not maternal at all. So I knew I made a commitment to myself that when I had children, I wanted to be very close to them. So I don't know if it was me, if it was intentional, or if it's just innate. You know what I mean?
Probably both.
I don't know.
Being raised by your grandmother, right?
Maybe.
So it was probably... And that's probably why you're extraordinary at it, you know. Yeah. So it's not just an average mom, you know. Like, so you have it in you.
I think I'm like that with all kids. Like all kids,
with it
like
in you.
I think it's Leo too. Like the these are my cubs.
Yeah, it feels like that. Like I'm very protective of my children, my friends' children. Like if I say that's my niece, or if I say like. I'm all over it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just who I am. Like I told Zay like recently that one of her friends called me in high school, and she doesn't know who it is till this day, and told me she felt unsafe. She was locking herself in the bathroom. I guess some boys were trying to run a train on her, and she called me. She didn't call her mother. She didn't call her father. She picked to call me. Yeah. And I got up out my bed. I grabbed my baseball bat. I flew over to the location. I just ran up in the house party with my bat. Like, I called, where you at? And she was like, I'm up here. And I walked her right out of there.
I know that's right.
She was crying, and, you know, she just didn't feel good. And she was just like, I know I shouldn't have did it. You talked to us about it, but I trusted him. And then he was like, he'll be right back. And then he was going to bring his friend in. And I just didn't know what to do. And I was like, you did the right thing. Yeah. She's like, please don't tell my mom.
Calling somebody you can trust.
That's safe.
Because it's not telling your mother. It might not always be your parent, but to have somebody.
A trusting adult.
So that was like, you know, having my son, he just made me grow up a lot faster. That was, you know, my baby, my protector. To this day, he's just like super protective of me. He just kind of pushed me a little more to just grow up. And it's funny because when I got the ultrasound, they told me I was having a girl, and then I was excited, and then we went back. And the doctor said, we're going to do one more. And we went back, and he was like, it's a boy. I cried. I don't want a boy. I want a girl. but I'm happy that I had a boy first. Because he is, you know, truly my protector. And he has 3 daughters now himself. And so that's like, whew.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we know that you're a serial entrepreneur. And so how did you start off in your entrepreneurial journey?
I did hair in high school. My grandmother's friend had a hair salon in her basement. And I used to be the shampoo girl, starting at like 11 maybe. 8? Wow. I don't know.
Hey, real young.
I was literally. I was like washing and folding towels and sweeping, and then I ended up being a shampoo girl, and then I knew how to braid really good. So Val was braiding. She had a lot of clients, and I would help her, and then that's how that started. And her mother did regular like hair care, and so I would shampoo for her and roll them up, put them under the dryer, and then like early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, it was all kind of braid styles came out. Corkscrews came out, so we took a class, learned how to do that. So we was like doing that, and I would like go to school, come to their house, and be doing hair to like 1 a.m, then go home, go to sleep, get up and go to school in middle school.
Wow.
So that was
dedicated.
Like, it was like, that's how it started. So my first business that I opened was a hair salon in Connecticut. It was called Pamper Your Hair. Then I decided to move here. So I had it open for a couple of years, and then I moved down south. But I worked in the hair salons like high school, all of high school. I worked in a salon in Brooklyn, and then I worked in a salon in Connecticut. I worked in 2 salons, 3 salons in Connecticut. Then I have been in dentistry my entire adult life. So I've been in dentistry 29 years. And
so what attracted you to dentistry, the dental industry, from hair?
This is so weird. This is so weird.
That's a huge jump.
So it was weird because I was still doing hair. So even when I worked in the dental office, I would do hair Thursday through Saturday.
Okay.
So when I opened my salon, I went to get my teeth cleaned one day, and my dentist at the time, Dr. Mack, he was just a flirt. He flirted with all the pretty women that came in the office. His secretary was his mistress. He was married.
Oh, Lord.
And the office manager, I should say, she was his mistress. So me not knowing that, being so young, 21, I'm like, I didn't know. So he just said to me one day, would you like a job? I said, after he cleaned my teeth and patted my chest while he's doing the napkins on my neck.
You better stop.
And I said, doing what? He was like, I need somebody at my front desk with my manager, Dolores, and I think you would be great. He was like, you have such a great personality. You know, you're very articulate. I'm like, okay. I said, I never thought of working in a dental office. Mm-hmm. He was like, so this is what I'll do for you. What I really would like you to do is be a hygienist. He said, you have to go to school for 2 years for that. And at the time, hygienists were making $25 an hour straight out of school. He said, I will pay you, I think it was $16 or something, to work at my front desk. I will send you to school and pay for it. You're going to pay me back. And how you're going to do that is the difference in cost hourly.
Not with that mentality. Not with the mess he had going on in that office.
I was like, oh, pay for it.
Right. And I was like, wait a minute. Okay. Because hygiene school is expensive.
Yeah.
And he said, your rate, let's say it's 16 and hygienist is getting 25. By the time you get out, they'll get 26. That $10 an hour, I'm still going to keep you at 16 though. And the difference, that $10 is what you'll be paying me back, $10 an hour. And I was like, that's a fair deal. I don't know what it feels like to make $26, so I don't think I'll miss it. So I was like, okay.
Makes sense.
You know, and I was like, I don't have to worry about trying to pay for it or get any loans.
Right.
And so I said, okay. And he was like, all right, you can start on Monday. I said, okay, I'll be here. So I get there on Monday. And again, I did not know that the office manager was his mistress. She was so nasty to me. She wouldn't help me with anything. She knew that, like, you know, and I was
thought
just
you might
like,
have been her competition.
right. And I'm like,
absolutely.
he got a whole wife at home. Like, he's married. I'm not. So anyway, we warmed up to each other. Surprisingly, with me telling her, like, who does your hair? Like, your hair needs to be done. It's a mess. And
that was the segue to warming up.
Started. As you know, she had a lot of grays coming in, and that was how it started.
Let me fix you up.
Let me hook you up. And so she came to my house, and I did her hair. Because this is before I had the salon. I did her hair, and she became my client, and she started to help me. And that lady was a plethora of knowledge. She just knew so much about dentistry. And I would just take notes every day like I was still in school. Take notes. I would go home, I would study it. Because I don't like to do anything that I'm not very good at. I'm just, I don't know. That's why I don't drink. I'm a control freak, if I'm honest with myself. I have to be in control of everything. So I'm like, I gotta be good. If I'm doing this, I'm gonna have to be real good at it.
Right.
So I started studying, and like literally within like 3 months, you would never knew that I never worked in dentistry. And we worked together, and everything was going well. And then he decided to hire another piece of eye candy he liked, a white lady that came in there in a cat suit and 6-inch heels.
I know you
So he hired her.
at the good dentist office.
And Dolores had enough.
With family dentistry, with children.
Right. And so he was like,
wow.
You know, he wasn't getting nowhere with me. You know, I had just had a baby, and I'm just like,
You got what you needed professionally.
Yeah. And he was like, you know, so anyway, I moved on from his office, went to another office, became a treatment plan coordinator. It was a very large practice, learned that area. Left there, became an assistant office manager at a periodontal practice. So I'm collecting specialties and different things, putting everything in my tool bag.
That's right.
And so at that point, I decided to move to Georgia. I had been in dentistry at that point 6 years or so. And then
You were well established.
Yeah.
You knew your
And then
stuff
I
by then.
moved
Yeah,
here.
for sure.
And a doctor here that I started with, he mentioned it to me one day. He said, "Have you ever considered being a consultant?" And I said, "I have, but I'm not really sure how to go about it." And so I want to make sure that I'm going to be the best consultant possible when I do it.
Yeah.
And he said, "I tell you what, when you decide that you want to do it, I will pay for you to get your business license, your name with the Secretary of State, and I will be your first client."
Nice.
And I said, "Okay, Dr. Knox."
Yeah.
Dr. Knox in Decatur, Georgia on Candler Road.
Okay. Shout out.
I said, "Okay." So, I ended up leaving his office because it's on Candler Road, and I clocked out at 12:23 a.m. one day.
Oh.
And I said, I'm not coming back here.
Yeah.
Like, he would see patients all night. And I just didn't feel safe. I was new to Georgia. It's Candler Road. I'm like,
And that's late anyway.
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, mm-mm. And so I ended up going to another dental office
Dr.
where I met Nick,
Allen.
Dr. Allen.
I remember.
And I worked there, and I decided, I meet everybody at dental offices, I swear. So I met my ex-husband at the first dental office.
right.
Right.
That's
and so
right.
by the time I got
That's
to the next office, we got married. And then I decided one day that I wanted to do it. And so I called Dr. Knox and I said, "I'm ready."
I'm ready.
And he said, "Okay, Z," because he calls me Z. He said, "All right, go online, find the name, I'll pay for everything, whatever." And literally, it wasn't much money. It's probably like $200 for everything.
Yeah.
But it wasn't about the money,
The fact that he offered
believed
to-
in me.
Yeah.
Yes.
He felt that I could do it, and he gave me that push that I needed.
Yeah.
And so
And the awareness.
yes.
Yeah.
So July 29th, 15 years ago, is when I started Proactive Dental Solutions.
All right.
And it's funny because it was
15 years?
15 years.
Wow.
Yes. It was a proactive, it's like acne, this proactive stuff they
Yes,
had. I don't even know if they have it
that's right.
anymore.
Uh-huh.
And it was a commercial on one day for it. And I said, Proactive Dental Solutions. That's how I came up with the name. It just, commercial came on.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, because I want these dentists to be proactive. Yes, okay, Proactive Dental Solutions. I looked up
so
the name,
fitting.
it was available, and that's where it started. And he became my first client.
Nice. So what do you explain what you do as a consultant in the business?
So everyone's like, what, like, you consult people teeth? Like, what?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So no, so I focus on, well, it's very broad, really. It depends on the doctor's needs. But generally, I'm focusing on ways for them to generate more revenue. I work a lot with doctors that are going through acquisitions. If they're retiring and selling and another doctor's going to acquire, sometimes I'm responsible for finding the buyer and preparing the practice for sale. So similarly to when you're buying a house, the bank is looking at your debt to income ratio. When dental offices are being sold, they're looking at what the doctor has produced and collected in the last 3 years, their tax returns, and everything from the last 3 years. So sometimes when doctors say, "I'm ready to sell," and we look at the numbers and a broker comes in, they say, "You're not going to get what you want, right? This practice isn't going to appraise at the number you want. So you're going to have to sell for a lot lower, take a loss, or like with your house, you can rip up these floors, do some paint, and bring the practice up, and then sell.
Yeah.
And so I come in and I do all that construction. I help with the training. I coach doctors one-on-one, coach them on how to generate more revenue, different marketing strategies, different things they can do within the practice, hiring staff, firing staff. Sometimes I go in and I'm like, the staff is the issue. Like we're having a retention issue because people don't want to come and deal with nasty Nancy at the front desk.
Right.
She's taking their money.
And people underestimate how
and they don't
and
get
crucial
it.
that is to
They
business.
think, I'm like, the patients will love you, but that person at the front that they have to
deal
see
with
every
and call.
time, if they don't like them, they're not coming back.
That's
and when
right.
you're in an area with 10, 20, 30 doctors within a 5-mile radius. You have to, and I always use this slogan with them, you have to be the Chick-fil-A of dentistry. Everything has to be my pleasure. You have to give that Ritz-Carlton red carpet service. And if you don't, then you're going to lose the patients. Yeah. And so a lot of doctors are trying to move towards being what we call fee-for-service practices, meaning that they accept your insurance, but they're not in network. It's probably something you've heard before. And I tell them, I say, in order to do that, because the insurance company's reimbursement is so low now, they haven't increased fees in over 10 years. And after COVID, everything has gone up. The doctor's lab bills, the supplies, gloves, so they have to figure out a way to generate more revenue if they're going to be PPO providers.
To make up for that.
So the goal is to be able to come out of network. But as a consumer, I'm not paying you an extra $200 for something I can get done down the street for free if I'm not going to be the priority.
Right.
And so I teach them and coach them on how to make that happen. We have a lot of team building sessions. I have clients out of state, so I go to them and I host team building exercises. We go through a lot of different strategies to help the practice increase more revenue and then prepare them for sales. So then, now your practice is worth more. Now you can go ahead, sell, get out. Also, I do like one-on-one coaching with doctors. If the doctor in the practice is just not making enough money, I want to work with them on different things they can do, different things you can offer your patients. Are you under treatment planning? Are you not giving them the bigger picture? Some doctors are extremely conservative. It's rare because most are on the whole other end, and they over treatment plan. They want you to do everything. Wow. Let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And it's just like patients feel like it's all about the money. So I want to work with them on different things that they can do to ensure that the patients don't feel that way. And we can go ahead and make some money.
Right. Because listen, dental work is not cheap.
It's not.
My goodness.
It's not.
And a lot of things are not covered.
A lot of things are not covered. And so when I'm working with the front desk, I'm teaching them that most of your patient population is only going to know one thing about their insurance. And that's that I get 2 free cleanings a year. Everybody knows that. And I'm like, but that's 2 healthy tissue cleanings. So if there's any gingivitis or periodontal disease, it's not going to be free. So, teaching them how to articulate that, teaching them how to educate the patients and making the patients feel comfortable so then they never feel it's all about the money. Yeah. And it helps. And my instant gratification is when the doctors say, I can see what you're doing working. We increased revenue by 20% in 2 months. Oh, we're up. I have a client now in Canton. And his practice, when I went in, I increased the revenue by 30% in the first 45 days. And this year, he's amazing. Yeah. And he's just like, Zoe, you're a godsend. I'm like, well, as a doc, you're doing all the work, but you're listening to me. So sometimes I get resistance from doctors. They don't want to do what I'm telling them to do. I'm like, you're paying me to advise you. Yes. If you don't try it, we won't know that it's not going to work. And so once they start implementing, I implement systems and they start doing them and they see the results, then it's like, ooh. So, then people are always like, well, how do you get clients? Where do these dentists come from? Once you get one, it's easy because it's usually word of mouth. Right, you get referrals. But I'm kind of old school, so I did a lot of door-to-door marketing. I bring little baskets, I bring cupcakes, I drop off marketing information about who I am, my company, what we provide. And some of them will come in for something like, oh, I need a hygienist, can you place a hygienist? Or I need a doctor, can you place a doctor with me? And then I say, let me come in and give you a free analysis on this practice. And when they hear free, they're like, okay. Because in their mind, I'm not going to go with you anyway. And then
once you get in
when I get in there and I give them the practice analysis, and I go ahead and give them a list of other doctors that I've worked with in the area, because as big as the dental community is, it's very small as well. And then they're like, oh, you've worked with Dr. So-and-so? And I'm like, yeah, you can give them a call. Or they go to my website and they see testimonials and they're like, oh, you've worked, and everybody I work with doesn't look like me. And that helps a lot. I wish it didn't have to be that way. But the reality is a lot of doctors, even black doctors, feel like, oh, if white doctors work with her, she's good. And so, I kind of bump into that as well. So
it's like, oh, whatever it takes. Like, yeah, that's make
fine.
you feel better, but I do it all.
I'm like teeth, all white.
Everybody
they don't
has
have any
teeth.
color.
That's
right.
Yeah. So I kind of do that, and I also do a lot of speaking engagements. So I teach courses for the Georgia Dental Association and the Georgia Dental Society. So I teach doctors different things, whether it's, I have a couple courses. Let's Get Down to Dental Business is one, and Let's Get to the Insurance Money is another. And so I'm always really happy at the end when the doctors come up to me and we're like, that was a great class. Like, I learned so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I get clients from them those events as well.
Yeah,
so they're like, can I have your business card? So I'm like,
yeah, absolutely. So she is doing her thing, y'all. Proactive Dental Solutions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can attest to your business acumen and seeing the results as a patient of one of your clients, right? And so Honey needed a reference to a dentist. Call Zoe. Get a dentist. Okay, he goes, all the things. He gets the work done, whatever. And then he gets a thank you card with a star, but going back to the Chick-fil-A treatment, he gets a thank you card from the dentist with a Starbucks gift card. I was like, that is Zoe's work. That is Zoe's work. I said, I ain't never going to a doctor's appointment and got a gift card as a thank you. So it is a nice added touch. Yeah. So make sure that y'all hire her.
Yes,
and she has
that'll make you come back and refer more people.
It does.
And so even when you were talking about your marketing strategies and things of that nature, and I've been around, you like, oh, I gotta go get these cupcakes and I got these baskets and so you took those talents and flipped them into
Under the Stars parties.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that business.
So I did mention I was Jamaican, right? So
Yes, you know they have teen jobs.
It's in my DNA. I don't even know how. Like, I do hair, I do this. I'm a dental consultant. So Under the Stars parties started. I wanted to have a girls' day, so I'm really big on hosting and having parties
with the most.
What? You ain't been to a party. Like, been to a Zoe party.
We're looking forward to 2 parties I have every year, and maybe 3 sprinkled in. So I have a birthday party every year, and I have a holiday party every year. And then, like, welcome to spring, I like to have that, and then I like to kiss the summer goodbye, so I like to do that. So this one, I was thinking, like, what do I want to do? So I was like, oh, I want to have a chill girls' night outside in the yard with some tents and some beds and some food and some music and some games. I just, my mind was all over the place. And so I reached out to a company that I looked on Instagram, and they did it. And they never got back to me. And so I was like, I probably could do this myself for what they were charging me. Let me see if I could do it myself. It's probably going to cost me a little more, but let me see. So I just did it. I started ordering the stuff. I started like mapping out how I wanted it to go, what my vision was. And I saw like a candy wall online, and it was like $1,200. And I'm like, paying $1,200. And so I was like, maybe I could build it. So I went to Home Depot and I bought this stuff, and I built the candy wall. And so I had the candy wall, and then I had the cornhole, and then I was like, I want to do boho picnics. Like, I want to bring picnics back in where you go for a picnic with your significant other, and you just sit out there. So I was like, I'm gonna get a boho picnic table. And then I was like, okay, and then I want to do this, and then I want to do that. And I was like, I want a big projector TV. So let me just get a big TV to put out there. So I got like a, 12-foot projection TV. So I got that out there. And then I was like, the little igloos when you go to like these little exclusive restaurants they have outside, those are really dope for a date. So I ordered one of those. And then, Lord, my bill was like ching, 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 ching. And then I put it all together, and I said, I enjoyed this. I could do this. Like, I could do this. Like, I've done parties and helped people plan baby showers and weddings and stuff like that in the past, but never like did it as a job. And I was like, I could do this. I like this. So I said, well, let's just see how it goes and what everybody says. So I just told everybody I was having a girls' night and I needed a head count. Let me know if you're coming because the vendor is charging me per person. So if you can't come, please let me know so I can put somebody in your spot. So I opened the gate to the back, the backyard gate, and everybody was coming in and everybody was like, oh my God, this is dope. Who did this? You got to give me the number to the people that did this. And I was like, yes, that's it. And that's how it started. Yeah. So it was too much
that was
to do
the introduction
right. Yeah. So it was too much to have everybody come in one night. So I broke it up into 2 separate weekends of 10 ladies each.
Yep.
And everybody was just amazed.
Yeah. And she had all the details covered.
Everything.
Yes. You had your own little TP with your own mattress, and it had elements of your personality. I mean, she did not miss
a detail.
Right. It had personalized pictures because she said, well, send me a picture of yourself and this and this and that. It had everything from soup to nuts covered. Yes. It was an amazing experience.
So
and at the end, because I was on week 1, Nick was on week 2. And so at the end, she announced, like, this is my new business venture, and blah, blah, blah. And we was all like,
they're like, another one.
Right. Another one.
Right. It's like, And, it was great. And it was just dope. Like, I did raffles that night. So 2 people won an igloo night and a TP night for 5 people. And so that was their prize. So, again, marketing, me just in my marketing element, let's just market this. Let's just do a lot of free stuff in the beginning, get the name out there, and then kind of go from there. And so this has been great. I've done like private parties. I've done a lot of children parties. I've done adult sleepover nights. I did one giant queen size tent for her birthday, double nick
birthday party. And, yes, it was dope. And then she messed with me because she's like, you didn't sleep on it? You didn't lay on it? Like, it looks exactly
perfect.
Like when I set it up.
Okay.
I said,
She was like, my theme is going to be this. And I was like, got you. So people give me their theme. So with the boho picnics, it's just like a picnic. We come to you wherever you are. It comes with champagne and fruit. You can, and a charcuterie board, you can then order food and we'll pick it up and deliver it and plate it. So some people may want to do it at the park, in their backyard, doesn't matter. Same thing with the igloo. You can have a regular dinner table in the igloo or you can have a boho picnic in the igloo. And so it has gone, and then I was doing the balloons, and so the balloons seemed to be like a separate business, which it wasn't supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, people call, we want to order balloons. I'm like, balloons again?
Yeah.
And so
and they're so dope.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes a lot of time, and we got opportunities. I've decorated 2 clubs, and so that was dope. I was like, whoa, this is a big task.
Yes.
I didn't even really know what to charge. I was like, okay, how much time is this going to take?
Right.
Yeah.
And so we did one club for New Year's Eve. They had a casino theme, so we did the casino theme for them. And it's a 3-level club, so we had to do 3 levels of decor. And
you have your staff.
Yes.
So,
The team comes out with me. We get it done. Then we had a club in a hookah lounge, Bay's House in Marietta. It's really, really nice. If you guys have ever been or live in that area, it's kind of far, but if you live out there, it's real dope. And they had their holiday party, and so they had 10 tents set up inside the club, holiday themed. So that was pretty dope.
Nice.
So it's fun. I enjoy doing it. I don't have as much time as I'd like, so a lot of my team will like set stuff up, but we'll mock it up in advance, and they'll go out and do it because proactive keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah.
It's a good problem. Yeah, it's a good problem. It's I'm out of town 1 week a month now because I have 2 new clients in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
Thank God is just so good.
Absolutely.
And real quick, like sidebar, I just invested in myself again. Went to Orlando to do a convention. The convention is $3,000 for me to have a table. And then I got to fly there. Then I got to get a hotel. And then I'm like, oh my God. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I get 1 client, it'll cover all my expenses. Yeah. So I had a quota that day. I said, I want to acquire 3 clients. Well, I went and I didn't get 1. Like, nobody. I was so discouraged. And they sent me the floor plan in advance, and I noticed there was another consultant next to me. And I'm on the phone with my girl, like, why would they put a consultant next to me? Like, why would they do that? They could put her over there. And she was like, well, call and get her and move your booth. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. And I never got to do it. Well, thank God I didn't. I was next to a woman. She is a consultant, but not the same as me. She's a broker, transition broker. So what she does is she helps doctors buy and sell practices. Oh. So again, in who you know and what they look like, one of my clients came to my booth and I didn't remember him. He was like, Zoe, do you remember me? And I said, you look familiar. No. And I said, did I meet you at another convention? He said, Zoe, you came to my office in Monticello, Georgia. I said, Dr. Mitchell. He was like, yeah. And the lady in the booth next to me was peeping the whole time. I didn't know. And he was like, oh my God. I was like, how's Susie? That's his wife. He was like, she's around here somewhere. And he's an older white man. And so the lady in the booth next to me was impressed. And so she was like, okay. And she was like, she came over to me after and she says, you know Dr. Mitchell? And I said, yeah, he was my client. And she says, you know, he's president-elect of the GDA. I said, I didn't. I worked with him like 7 years ago. And she was like, oh my God. She was like, I want you and I to work together. I think I have something. Tell me a little bit about your business. Now, we've been next to each other the whole time. Yeah. I told her about my business, and she ended up being so cool. She's referred me since then 5 clients.
Wow. That's awesome.
She has taken me to the next level. So 2025, I've made more money than I've ever made in my life.
Nice.
That's
a lot of that came from her. So
you just never know. Just
you never know. And I literally wanted to be moved because I was like, that's a conflict. Why would they put us next to it? Just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But just not knowing, just seeing the name, I didn't realize they were actually a broker.
Yeah.
And she was like, I have a new client. She's buying this doctor's office. She's never had a practice before. I think you can help her. I said, awesome. She brought me that new client. She was great. And then she says, I have another client for you. They're in Canton. Is that too far? I said, no. Then she called me. Tell me when to stop sending them to you. I have one in Alabama. Will you take that? Yeah, I will.
Right.
And it's just like, she's amazing. She's amazing. So she came to my birthday party this year.
So proud of you. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And God's gonna open doors, and and that's like divine, right?
Yes.
Timing. He coordinated for that to happen. Again. Right. The way it did. And even with us doing this podcast, just different things have happened, and it's like, God is all in this, you know.
Yeah.
So when he opens the door, even when you don't get it, when you get frustrated, when you're like
discouraged.
Discouraged. Yep. Like you said, you knew what it was going to cost you, your expenses, and came back disappointed. He said, I got you.
Yeah. Oh my God. And now you got more than you.
Yeah.
Baby, that's an understatement.
Now you got more than you expected.
Faith plus works. You did it.
There you go.
Right.
There you go.
You did the work.
Congratulations.
So you showed up with the blessing.
Hey.
Yeah. So we have a segment called Mirror Talk.
Okay.
So you are in the mirror. What's one thing your younger self needed to hear that you now know?
Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow is the unknown. And today is the present. It is from God, and that's why they call it a present. It is a gift. Live in the present. Make plans for the future. Don't worry about the past.
Oh, that's good.
That's awesome. Drop them, baby. Drop them. One more.
Good.
Your future self. What are you unapologetically claiming as yours?
Ooh.
In any area.
Look, she's like,
not
which
business.
way I want to go with this?
In any area, not just business. Any area.
Yeah.
My future self. Ask me again and make sure I got it right.
What are you unapologetically claiming as yours?
Wealth, love, happiness.
All right.
All right. And there you have it.
Yeah. All the essentials.
Twin of them.
I'm a twin of them.
Thank you so much for joining us and spreading your wealth of knowledge and information. And you definitely put on your voicemail voice. People call you gotta tell what did Dad say?
My dad is a little Jamaican Chinese man. So he calls my phone and it goes to voicemail. He calls it back because I noticed I had mad missed calls from him, and I'm like, so I called him. I said, "Daddy, you called me?"
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, but it's not you. It's saying proactive something." I said, "What, Daddy? Is that white woman?" She said, "Proactive something." I said, "Oh my God." I said, "Daddy, that's me." "No, is a white woman said proactive something." I said, "That's me, Daddy. That's my business. Proactive Dental Solutions."
That's hilarious.
"Oh, me think it's a white woman." "No, it's me."
You said that's my professional voice. Thank you.
He was so confused because he kept saying it to me, and I'm like, "Daddy, it's me." And he's like, "No, it's a white woman." I said, "It is not a white woman. It is me."
Hilarious. So gotta flip it on him.
So lessons in how to be a chameleon is very needed.
Absolutely.
So when you were talking about proactive, honey, I heard
She switched it up.
She switched it up. So
And
I had
ran
to talk
it.
about what?
That's
Ran
funny.
it down.
Tell us what you do. Oh, yes. So I provide. Come on,
And I think like a lot of people, they don't even know when I go to the office and they haven't met me and I say I'm Zoe. I see it on their
like,
face.
oh.
Like, oh shit, she's black.
Yeah.
It's a black woman.
It's a black woman.
It's a yard. It's a yard girl.
I'm like, hi.
True that.
Hi, it's Zoe.
True that. And she coming with all the information, the skills them. And the professionalism.
Oh God! And this will always be looking at me wild when she'd be like at the house and I'm like on the phone and I'm on the phone with someone Jamaican and it just switch and I don't realize I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And then I get off and she'll say something like "pop pop," like this one here.
That's right.
I mean, rolling.
We are well versed in code switching.
Yes.
Okay.
Very well versed.
Yay. But she is amazing.
Yes.
Y'all check her out. We're Under the Stars parties.
Yes.
And Proactive Dental Solutions.
Yes.
Miss Zoe, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm so proud of both of you. This is so dope.
Yes, supporting each other and our sisters.
Yes.
And we want to thank you, our viewers, for tuning in for another episode of the Ginger and Honey podcast. I'm your girl, Nick Valentine.
And I'm the girl, the lioness. And sometimes I'm Ginger.
And sometimes I'm Honey. But depending on the day, it can go either way. So what we want y'all to do?
Like, share, subscribe. Find us on YouTube at the Ginger and Honey podcast. See you soon.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you.